The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Alright, that's enough of the games that I'm not playing. It's time for me to play a game that I actually play. How about that? Welcome to the program for this 9th day of May 2023. My name is Ron Chucka. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. We got ourselves, I think this is the last interleague game of the year until we get to the World Series. It is a matchup between the real-life champions from this year and the real-life champions from next year, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Anaheim Angels. Arizona comes into this one 46-43. Anaheim comes into this 42-47. They are catching Seattle, and they get to face Randy Johnson, who beat them badly about 6 years earlier in a playoff game in Seattle. So they don't have good memories of Randy to begin with, and Randy is something pretty special. So is Jared Washburn, who gets the call today. This is the last year of the Disney-fied Angels. They become the Angels that we kind of know at this point starting next year. And Arizona, well, they need to get something going and hope that San Francisco can cool off. So it's game 90 for the Diamondbacks and the Angels as we get set on this Bastille Day, July 14th, 2001. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this, shall we? As Retro Sports Network presents 2001, an action PC season odyssey. I gotta sneeze. Great. Tonight's game is brought to you by DigitalAdice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Excuse me. Find us today on a box of Kleenex, Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. As from Edison International Field in Anaheim, California, it is indeed the Anaheim Angels and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And on this beautiful, warm summer day here in Southern California, Jared Washburn gets the call for the Angels. He is 8-6. Well, considering that I haven't watched a second of the NBA playoffs or much of the Red Sox, it don't matter to me. Washburn is 8-6 with a 4.11 ERA, 17th start of the year. He's 26, a fly ball pitcher and a fastball at 89. Let's see, his last time out, was against Colorado on July 7th in a 4-2 loss to the Rockies. So a week ago tonight, or today, so Saturday, July 7th, just going into All-Star Weekend. Everett Hanwell, how about yourself? 6 innings, 101 pitches, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. 103 innings, 104 hits, 53 runs overall, 47 of them earned. He's given up 10 homers. He's walked 29 while striking out 72. This will be one of these character-building games, I think, for Washburn. The lineup he'll face: Junior Spivey leads off at second base for Arizona. Jay Bell, the DH, will bat second. Louis Gonzalez in left will go third. Matt Williams at third will clean up. Mark Grace at first. It's an 80s reunion weekend here at Disney. Grace will bat fifth and play first base. Batista in center will go sixth. Reggie Sanders in right will bat seventh. Damian Miller behind the plate goes eighth. And Tony Womack at short, batting ninth. Randy Johnson on the hill should throw about 120 pitches. Garrett Anderson a 6 and a 5 and left as we set the Angels defense. Darren Erstad an 8 and a 5 in center. And I believe that's, well, I'm not going to guess in the last name, Devannon, a 3 and a 7 in right. Troy Glaus is 7 at third. David Eckstein, a 4 at short. Benji Gill, we got a bunch of Benjis playing today. He's a 7 at second. Scott Spezio, a 5 at first. Benji Molina a 6-3 behind the plate, and Washburn at 8 on the mound with a 9.41 ERA. Junior Spivey at 182, no homers, and 3 RBI. Washburn starts the ball game. Strike 3, a 1-2 fastball on the outside corner. Here's Bell at 248, 8 homers and 32 RBI. Washburn kicks and fires. Ground ball to Eckstein over to Spezio. And that's an error. So Bell's going to reach as that one got away from Spezio. He leaps and can't get there. Goes in the dugout. Changes a channel from the Celtics 76er game to C-SPAN. So here's Louis Gonzalez as they scramble to change it back to the Celtics 76er game on the flat screen TV in the Angel dugout. Louis at 320, 33 homers and 85 RBI. Pitch to Gonzalez, ball 4. Again, for Washburn, this is one of these Calvin and Hobbes puts character, hair on your chest type starts. Here's Matt Williams. Matt at 233, 6 homers and 24 RBI. Ground ball to Spezio. Eckstein for 1, and there's no throw to first. So runners on the corners, 2 out for Mark Grace. Mark at 279, 8 homers and 30 RBI. For those of you who might be joining us either live on Twitch or on YouTube that have been watching the OOTP stuff, this is Action PC Baseball 2023, and we are, a little more than halfway through a 2001 replay where we do it 3 times a week. We'll be with you tomorrow, Wednesday at noon Eastern, and Thursday at noon Eastern. Pitch to Grace. There's a line drive to Gill, and that gets him out of the inning. No runs, no hits, and the error somehow does not hurt. They'll leave on 2. Half an inning down, no score. Eckstein was a good player, for sure. One of those dirt ball players. They tend to be middle infielders, don't they? David Eckstein, in fact, leads off for the Angels. He says a novena as Randy Johnson does his warm-up tosses. Randy making his 20th start of the year. He is 11-3 with a 2.06 ERA. He pitched an inning in relief on the 6th. Remember, the All-Star appearance doesn't count in his overall record. So Randy on full rest, although Randy would be on full rest. That was on Tuesday. This is a Saturday. So in that 1 inning against Oakland, he gets a win. He threw 11 pitches and struck out a batter. 131 1/3 innings for Randy. 87 hits. 30 runs all earned. 13 homers. 39 walks. 191 strikeouts. Randy didn't give up an earned run in his first 31-plus innings this year. His first 4 starts, his ERA was 0. Here's a lineup he'll face. David Eckstein leads off at short. Darren Erstad in center will bat second. Troy Glaus at third will bat third. Shane Wooten, I believe, is the DH. He cleans up. Garrett Anderson in left will bat fifth. Scott Spezio at first goes sixth. Benji Gill at second batting seventh. Benji Molina, what is this? And we're at Disney too, oh, by the way. So Benji the dog will be there between innings. And Devannon in right will bat ninth. Washburn threw 14 pitches in his half of the first. Louis Gonzalez an 8 and a 5 in left. Batista a 5 and an 8 in center. Reggie Sanders a 5 and a 6 in right. Matt Williams a 4 at third. Tony Womack a 3 at short. Junior Spivey a 4 at second. Mark Grace a 7 at first. Damian Miller a 7 to 5 behind the plate. So Eckstein, whoever has here to watch, at 276, no homers and 25 RBI. Johnson starts his game with a ground ball to third. Williams across the way to Grace. 1 out. For Darren Erstad at 244, 3 homers and 45 RBI. Of course, lots of controversy last night in the NHL draft lottery that the Blackhawks get the #1 pick, and Connor Bedard, who seems to be the consensus can't-miss first pick of this draft class, pitched to Erstad. Ground ball to third. Williams over to Grace for the out. 2 away for Troy Glaus. Troy at 265, 22 homers and 64 RBI. Struck him out. There's a shot. Swung on a miss, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1, no score. Going to open up a cough drop as Danny Batista digs in at 250, 2 homers and 13 RBI. Bedard looks 12 to you. Who was I looking at the other day that looks, I mean, I don't know how old you are. I'm 51, and anyone about 20 looks about 10 to me. Pitch to Bautista. Draws a walk. I hope for his sake. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm the youngest one here. Bernie. You just turned 72, right, Bern? There's Reggie Sanders, 245, 12 homers, and 48 RBI. Washburn deals. There's a ground ball to Eckstein. We might get 2 out of this one. Nope, just across the way over to Spezio, and Sanders is running and is out on a bang-banger. So 1 out. Bautista on second for Damian Miller. Damian 248, 4 homers, and 20 RBI. When I was 8, 9, 10 years old, and would watch college basketball on TV, on literally a black and white television set, pitch to Miller. Line drive to Gill, and Benji's there, and that will take care of the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. A good inning for Washburn. Inning and a half down, no score. It's Sean Wooten, by the way. And Sean is hitting .315, 7 homers, and 20 RBI. So you're watching these 19, 20, 21-year-old kids. I'm talking late 70s, early 80s. And they looked ancient to me. Absolutely ancient. Again, I'm 9, 10, 11 years old and 20. My God, they were ready. You know, they had 1 foot in the grave at that point. Pitch to Wooten. Sean swings a ground ball to Williams. In on the grass, a snap throw over to Grace. And Wooten is out. Another bang-banger. Good throw by Williams. 1 out for Garrett Anderson, hitting .309, 16 homers, and 77 RBI. Today, in my early 50s, they look like babies, don't they? Anderson laces this one into right field for a base hit. Sanders will pick it up and throw it in. 1 out. By the way, if you're interested in knowing how the Burlington Streamers are doing, they aren't. The Strat team is 8-1. The OOTP Stone League team is 500. Scott Spezio at 261, 6 homers and 21 RBI. But don't you think, and I know some of this has to do with our ages, that people back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s looked a lot older for their age than they do now? I mean, look back at some of the pictures of teenagers back in the 50s and the early 60s. They don't look 16, 17 years old. Pitch to Spezio. Struck him out. That's 2 for Randy. A 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. I know Bernie's watching 3 games at once. Maybe he chime in for that. Benji Gill at 303, 8 homers and 31 RBI. Runner on first is Anderson. That's into right field, and that's down in the corner. Sanders has to fish it out. Anderson will round third and score. And the Angels go up 1-0. So a 2-out double for Benji, his 12th of the year. And Benji begats Benji Molina, Yachty's, I think, older brother, at 250, a home run and 5 RBI. Struck him out. So that's 3 for Randy. He got him to swing and miss on a fastball. 1 run, however, for the Angels on that double from Benji Gill. And after 2, it's Anaheim 1, Arizona 0. So Womack, Spivey, and Bell. Rare game for Arizona with a DH being in an American League park. Tony essentially doing the double leadoff role here. 261, a homer, and 24 RBI. Got him. A 1-2 change on the inside corner, 1 out. So Washburn's opening 9, 28 pitches. 2 in the 3rd innings, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. One of them was Spivey to start the ballgame. Ground ball is short. Eckstein over to Spezio. Sad to see the passing of both Vida Blue and Joe Kapp. Here's Jay Belly's 0 for 1. Both a little before my time, although Blue pitched into the 80s. His money years, of course, were with Oakland back in the mid-70s. Pitch to Bell. Fly ball, right field, and that ball is gone. So a home run for Bell. And the Diamondbacks have tied this game up at 1. An opposite field home run that Devannon could only turn and watch it go. I have no recollection of Joe Kapp whatsoever. Kapp was fun to watch, Everhat says, because the football never spun correctly when he threw it. The only memory I have of Joe Kapp was a few years ago. Gonzalez, by the way, walked his first time up. That was actually the first hit for the Diamondbacks, too. A few years ago at some CFL reunion in a hotel, an old defender gave Joe a hard time, and Kapp took exception to it. And Kapp tried to beat him up with his cane. Pitch to Gonzalez. Fly ball in the right field. Erstad moving over. Yeah, there was a tussle. And Erstad will make the catch. Birdie says, I've never seen a quarterback hit harder or more often than Joe Kapp was with the Patriots. That's probably because I was their right tackle in those years, Bernie. That will retire the side. The solo homer by Bell is the first hit for Arizona and the first run. Bottom of the 3rd, 1-1. So it's Jeff Devannon. Jeff at 213, 2 homers and 8 RBI. Struck him out. That's 4 for Randy. A 1-2 changeup on inside on the black. So opening 9 for Johnson. 33 pitches, 2 in the 3rd innings, 2 hits, a run, and 4 strikeouts. And the run is earned. It's jumped his ERA up to 2.09. Eckstein is 0 for 1. Vida Blue, I remember, in the 80s, being kind of excited to get his card. Knew he was a good pitcher. but he missed the Royals World Series by a year, right? I don't think he was there in '85. He got the 3 rings with Oakland. Base hit, right center field. Batista picks it up off the wall, and Eckstein is in the second standing. It's his 13th double. So that'll bring up Darren Erstad, who's 0 for 1. Eckstein can steal. Pitch to Erstad. Struck him out. An 0-2 fastball swung on and missed, and that's 5 for Randy. Eckstein can no longer really steal. Here's Glaus. He struck out his first time up. Got him. That's 6. Swung on and missed, and after 3, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. It's the Diamondbacks 1, the Angels 1. No, Bernie, I would trust your judgment on that one 100%. He seems to remember Vida Blue being one of the first pitchers to consistently throw at 100. And harness it. You know, Bob Feller walked a fair amount of hitters, and he threw about that hard. Nolan Ryan struggles with the Mets and the Angels are notorious. I mean, yeah, he could throw it hard, but he couldn't locate it. It wasn't until they got to Houston, really, did he settle down on the walks. And one, Randy Johnson, who's pitching in this game, could throw it hard and took a long time to contain where his pitch was going to go. The thing with Randy was, when he perfected that slider, you just couldn't hit it. Pitch to Williams. Popped up left side, Glaus, and that will find the seats. So somebody from Cucamonga made that catch, and a ball and 2 strikes to Williams. Wind's blowing out to Disney at 15, left center field, 84 degrees, a Chamber of Commerce day here in Orange County. Popped up, and the second verse is going to be the same as the first. That guy just made 2 catches. And Bernie is going to drive right down now and take him to Vegas. So 1-2 the count. Pitch to Williams. Ground ball, Washburn off the mound, left side, throws to Spezio for the out. Here's Mark Grace, he's 0 for 1. Vida Blue made the cover of Time magazine. One of those trippy early 70s covers. Grace in the center field, that's going to drop in front of Erstad for a single. So 1 out here in the top of the 4th for Danny Batista, who walked his first time up. Washburn sets and deals. Ground ball past Gill. And Grace will hold at second. First and second for the Diamondbacks. Both teams now have 3 hits. For Reggie Sanders, who's 0 for 1. Nice to see the Red Sox playing well. That entire division is at 500 or over. Which even as late as the 9th of May, which today is pretty good. Molina and Washburn have a word. Jared gets his instructions and strikes out Reggie on a full count fastball, swung on and missed. Washburn does not throw it all that hard, and it kind of comes out like a changeup. Here's Miller. Red Sox are losing 7-1 in the 5th. To whom? Are we snapping the Pirates' losing streak? Pitch to Miller. Ball 4, and so they're loaded. So Grace on third, Batista on second, Miller on first. Oh, the Braves. Womack struck out his first time up. very quietly, the Braves are becoming as dominant as they were in the 90s. And the fact that they continue to do so after letting Freddie Freeman walk is pretty amazing. Pitch to Womack. Fly ball right field to Vannon. Makes the catch and he gets out of it clean. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Bottom of the 4th, the Diamondbacks have left on 5 in a 1-1 tie. So here are the standings as we close interleague play for 2001. The Marlins a half game up on the Phils. Braves 2.5 back. In the Central, Houston 3 up on the Cubs. In the West, Arizona is in 3rd. They're going to climb over Colorado. And San Francisco at 52-38, the best record in the National League. If the season was to end today, the Rockies would be the wild card. In the East, the Yankees lead the Red Sox by 6.5. White Sox and Cleveland are just 2 games apart. By the way, I believe they play this week on the channel. And Seattle's lead over Oakland is 4. Anaheim trails by 16. And Cleveland would be the wild card. And Tribe Fan is actually at that game tonight against the Tigers. Sean Wooten is 0 for 1. Struck him out. 7 for Randy and 0-2 fastball outside. So Johnson is 2 strikeouts away from 200 on the season. Garrett Anderson is singled and scored. He's 1 for 1. Got him. That's 199 for Randy. A 1-2 fastball looking at 96. So here's poor Scott Spezio. Johnson looking to strike out the side and get his 200th strikeout of the season on July 14th. Johnson kicks and deals. In the right field, there won't be Spezio. Sanders moves over in the alley and makes the catch. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 5th. It's 1-1. So top of the lineup, it'll be Spivey, Bell, and Gonzalez. Junior is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Washburn, 69 pitches for 18 batters, 4 innings, 3 hits. The lone home run, was that solo shot by Jay Bell, who's on deck. He has walked 3 and struck out 3. Spivey pops it up, left side, Glaus. A rainmaker on this dry day, 1 out. Jay Bell hit his 9th of the year, and it drove in his 33rd run his last time up. Yep, this is the core ever hat that won the World Series the next year, and kind of the cool thing about being able to do historical replays is to know that you have a rare case of a game between 2 teams in an era where one team won a World Series is facing the team that will win the next World Series. Pitch to Bell. Ground ball up the middle for a base hit, so Jay is having a good day. I'll bring up Gonzalez, who walked. He's 0 for 1. Louis into right center. Erstad going back, way back there, and long gone. So that's off the batter's eye in right center. And it's 3-1 Arizona. So for Gonzalez, that's his 34th of the year. And that caught the jet stream out there in that wind, 15 miles an hour to left center, and hooked and hit the eye. Yeah, it really is just something I didn't think of until I looked to see about 20 after 8 what game I was actually playing today. And I went, oh! It's a Battle of World Champions. Matt Williams is 0 for 2. Washburn dusts himself off. That's into left or right center. Erstad moving over. Makes the catch. The Red Sox are losing 8-1 in this WEEI Sports Flash. And the 76ers have the Celtics number. They're not down 3-1, are they? 69-55. I'm assuming that's a third quarter score. So we try to be more entertaining. Here's Mark Grace. Mark is 1 for 2. 2 out, 3-1 Diamondbacks here in the 5th. Washburn deals. Grace into right center again. Erstad going way back, and well, look, and that ball is gone. So the Diamondbacks brought out the lumber tonight, and it's now 4-1 on Grace's 9th of the year, so tied 2 apiece. Yep, Bernie is like the screen ticker, and we're both all old enough to know when that was the 28:58 on ESPN. So 2 games apiece. So you never want to be down to that elimination game, but this one's at the Garden too, right? Game 5. Grace just smashed that one. 28:58. Of course, if you go back far enough, you'd get those Sports Center updates through the day in the different studio, and Chris Berman actually had hair with a clock behind him. Jimmy Myers. I was so excited. Sports updates in the middle of the day. What will they think of next? Aussie rules football is what they thought of next. Danny Bautista has singled and walked. He's 1 for 1. And there's a ground ball left side. Anderson will pick it up. And so the Angels have Washburn's number here in the 5th. So here's Reggie Sanders. Reggie is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Washburn deals. Got him. And so that took a painful turn. 3 runs on 4 hits on 2 homers. Gonzalez and Grace halfway home on a 54-degree night in Burlington, Vermont. It is 4-1 Diamondbacks. All right, have a good night. For those of you joining us late, here's how we got here. Benji Gill, a double to score Garrett Anderson the first, gave Anaheim a 1-0 lead. Jay Bell tied the ball game into third in a 1-1 with a solo homer. And the fourth, Arizona had 2 hits and a walk and could not score. And in the 5th, well, you just saw it a moment ago, 3 runs on homers. Gonzalez is 34th off the batting eye in right center, and Mark Grace followed that a moment later with his 9th of the year to make it 4-1. Randy Johnson making it look effortless tonight. 8 strikeouts, 3-hitter through 4. Washburn, 5 innings, 7 hits, and 4 runs, all earned. Bernie remembers how happy he was in the mid-'60s when the transistor radio was small enough to sneak into class to listen to World Series games. Now, Bernie, you remember 1988 when they won the division. By the way, congratulations to the New York Yankees, winners of RJL's World Series. We'll see who wins my 88 World Series sometime in about a year and change. Gill, by the way, doubled home that run in the 2nd, the only one for the Angels. His 32nd RBI. Struck him out. That's 9 for Randy and 200 on the year. And so they flash that on the big board here in Anaheim. And Randy tips his cap and then digs right back in to face Benji Molina, who struck out, is 0 for 1. So, Bernie, you remember the 88 LCS when they got pummeled by Oakland? Pitch to Molina. Struck him out, and for Randy, that's 10 through 5 and 4 2/3. He is dealing. That brings up DeVannen, who struck out his first time up. So at this point, the Angels and their fans are just kind of watching a show. Johnson for the side. Got him. That's 11, and that's the side. Randy's got him to chase a fastball after 5 for 1 D-backs. So as Miller steps in, he is 0 for 1 with a walk. And Washburn down to brass tack time here. Game 2 of that series was the day of the vice presidential debate between Lloyd Benson and Dan Quayle. Yeah, well, it didn't help that Oakland was kind of cheating. And so it was my senior year of high school, and I didn't have a lot of serious classes. It was a 1 o'clock. Yeah, well, I served with Jack Kennedy, and you, sir, are no Jack Kennedy. That's what Lloyd Benson is remembered for. And potato does not have an E on the end of it. So it was a 1 o'clock Eastern first pitch because they did not want the game to run into the debate, and the poor Mets and Dodgers, because they were out in L.A., and that was like a 10:15 first pitch. So the Red Sox today's were on at 1 at Fenway, and I brought in a radio. It wasn't a transistor radio, and I told everyone that would care that I was bringing in a radio to listen if people wanted to. Now, there were several teachers who were Red Sox fans, and I literally plugged that radio in from one end of the school to the other. I got sent to a junior high study hall on that afternoon, so a guidance counselor and I could listen during one of the periods to that game. You could only do that because you were a senior and everyone knew you were a Red Sox fan. So my Latin teacher said, okay, we got through about 20 minutes of class, and he knew I had the radio. I didn't have it on. I mean, obviously it wasn't that stupid, but it was there. Okay, that's a lesson for today. Put on the ball game. Pitch to Miller. Popped up left side. Glaus, another rainmaker, will make the catch. 1 out. That wind, by the way, now blowing dead to center at 15. Here's Womack. Tony is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So, yep, I was encouraged to and was allowed to bring a radio in so we could listen to that game. Pitch to Womack. Line drive to Gill. 2 out. So Washburn 3 times through the lineup, 110 pitches, 5 2/3, 7 hits. The 3 homers, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Spivey 0 for 3 with a strikeout. I think it's just Bernie and I right now. Intimate crowd here. Spivey down the line and left. Anderson will throw it back in. Spivey might not get there. The throw is not in time. Spivey is third double. Anderson, a good throw, but it was late. For Jay Bell, it was 2 for 3. He has singled, hit a solo homer, his 9th. Has scored twice and now has driven in 33. Bell in the right. DeVannen will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Diamondbacks get a hit, leave on another runner after 5.5, 4-1. So Randy Johnson has fanned 11 through 5, and his pitch count is low. Just 68 as we start the 6th. He's faced 18 batters, as we said, struck out 11 on 68 pitches and allowed 3 hits. Eckstein has a double. That's one of the 3. Johnson deals strikeout number 12. Randy is cruising. An 0-2 fastball, a 4-seamer. Took something off it. Here's Erstad. Darren has struck out once. He's 0 for 2. Ground ball to Johnson over to Grace. 2 out. So here's Glaus. Troy has struck out twice. Randy deals. In the left, Gonzalez in the corner will make the catch, and it's 1, 2, 3. After 6, Arizona 4, Anaheim 1. So Gonzalez, Williams, and Grace. That's true. The video of Randy Johnson killing that gull in Arizona in a spring training game. Can you imagine throwing a baseball hard enough to kill something? Although, who was the Florida pitcher that couldn't find home plate and threw it through a window on a truck? Gonzalez hit his 34th, by the way, his last time up, and is now driven in 87. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Well, they were both moving, yeah. That takes some skill. Matt Williams is 0 for 3. We'll give Washburn one more batter. Might be 2. Eckstein to Benji Gill for 1. No throw to first. And so, with 1 out here in the 7th, that'll do it. And it will be Mike Holtz to face the left-handed Grace. That didn't quite work out, I don't think. Holtz is 28. Again, looks about 18. Fastball at 94 and an extreme fly ball pitcher. 1 in 4, a save, and a 6.85 ERA. Last pitched against the Diamondbacks 2 days ago, so Thursday. Got the win. Went 1 inning, 15 pitches and a hit. 23 2/3, 33 hits, 18 runs all earned, 4 homers, 7 walks, and 18 strikeouts. So Williams a threat to steal. Really? Throw to first, and Williams is back. Now, you remember when the Blue Jays played outside, Dave Winfield was arrested when he was with the Yankees. Not because George Steinbrenner felt bad on that particular day, but seagulls are protected in Ontario. And he struck and killed one, throwing a ball in from the outfield. Pitch to Grace. Right back to Holtz. Gill for 1, the throw to Spezio, and they turn 2. Stretch time, 4-1, Arizona. Yeah, Bernie, I want to say 85 or 86. But he was arrested, and it wasn't like that was intentional. Why did that not go back? There we go. I understand animal cruelty and all that. It was just an unintentional thing, and it's a misdemeanor in Ontario to kill a seagull, I guess. Excuse me, here's Sean Wooten. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Randy Johnson has fanned 12 through 6. And in the sixth, he only threw 8 pitches. Fly ball, left field. Crowd likes it. Gonzalez going back, and Wooten has homered. Into the bleachers in left field. So it's now a 4-2 ball game as Wooten hits his 8th of the year. So Johnson, who has thrown an absolute gem here, caught too much of the plate with that, and Wooten made him pay. So Garrett Anderson, 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. 13. An 0-2 fastball. Johnson put a little extra mustard behind that one. 1 out for Spezio. Scott is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Johnson deals. Little ground ball down to third. Williams across the way to Grace. 2 out. For Benji Gill, who has doubled home a run. 1 for 2. Deep breath for Randy on this warm day in Anaheim. There's a line drive left center. Bautista can't get there, but he keeps it in front of him. So a 2-out single. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Arizona. They've left on 7. Johnson has kept the Angels off balance. 2 runs, 5 hits, an error, and they've left on 2. Molina has struck out twice. Throw to first. Gill's not going anywhere. And Molina draws the walk. So Randy, little off here in the 7th. Devannon has struck out twice. He's 0 for 2. Miller says, throw strikes, Randy. Randy says, get your butt back behind the plate. And strikes him out. 14 for Randy Johnson. And Devannon has taken the collar. However, the Angels have made this a ball game again. The homer by Wooten, 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 8th, 4-2 Arizona. So Bautista, Sanders, and Miller. Danny has singled twice and walked. By the way, Dave and I are doing digital dice tomorrow after the ball game. Craig Counsell will pinch hit. Really? Counsell hitting .297, 3 homers and 20 RBI. Holt starts the 8th with a base hit into left field. Erstad bobbles it out there, and Counsell's going to take an extra bag. So it's a single and an error. Second error for the Angels. Here's Sanders, who's 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Reggie into right center. Erstad goes back, and that ball is gone. So the Diamondbacks have pounded out 4 home runs in this one. And take a 6-2 lead on Reggie Sanders' 13th of the year. Tomorrow on the show, we are going to talk about these quick leagues that I'm in, the OOTP and the Strat Baseball 365, and what I think and why it's a good gateway for those who do that to come in over and do more sports sims and replays. Damian Miller is 0 for 2 with a walk. Ground ball to third. Glaus grabs it by the line, throws to Spezio for the out. 1 away for Womack. Tony is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. That's in the corner, and Anderson will have to come grab it in left field. Womack has 2 with ease. Anderson still trying to fish it out. Throws to Eckstein. Womack's going for 3, and he's in there with his first triple. So that'll do it for Mike Holtz. Ben Weber coming in. Got a pitching change, 1 out in the 8th. This game coming to you from Anaheim, California. So Ben, who looks like he has a Weber at home, doesn't he? He looks like he's grilled a few ribs in his day. His 35th appearance, 1-1, 2 saves, and an earned run average of .308. Ben is 31, ground ball plus pitcher, and throws the fastball at 89. Hasn't pitched in 10 days. Threw 5 pitches against the A's in a 9-7 win on the 4th, and walked a man. Overall, 38 innings, 38 hits, 14 runs, 13 earned. 3 homers. He's walked 15 while striking out 31. Junior Spivey, without runner on third, is 1 for 4. A double and a strikeout. Weber starts his ninth. Ground ball to third. Womack. They will concede the run and retire Spivey, 2 out. So base is empty for Jay Bell, 2 for 4. Solo homer has now hit 9. Line drive to Glaus, and that'll do it. So Randy Johnson comes on to pitch the 8th, but the D-backs seem to have this one under control as Bernie goes now to watch some cricket, something that's actually closer. 3 runs, 3 hits, and an error. It's 7-2 Arizona. So Johnson, 27 batters, 98 pitches, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He has walked 1 while striking out 14. I think I must have had a 15 strikeout game. If he gets the next 6, that's 20. Eckstein takes care of that. Womack on the ground ball over to Grace, 1 out. Still a great effort by Johnson. Randy's season high is it. This is it. He struck out 12 against the Rockies on June 29th. Darren Erstad is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Up the middle, Spivey behind the bag, 2 out. For Troy Glaus, Randy should have something in the tank for the 9th. Glaus is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Randy rears back and walked him. Second walk on a 3-1. That was way upstairs. And here's Wooten, who took Randy deep in the 7th. Not this time. That's 15. And so Randy just kind of looks over as he goes back to the dugout. That pitch was a ball, and the home plate umpire has got money on the Golden State LA series and wants to know when that starts. So we've played 8. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 9th, 7-2 Arizona. Gonzalez 2 for 3. It is 34th of the year in the 5th. And now is driven in 87. Weber starts the 9th, ball 4. Brings up Matt Williams, who's 0 for 4. In the right center, Erstad coming in. Darren makes the catch, and Gonzalez goes back to first. We're with you next Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and Thursday afternoon for baseball of this variety. Here's Mark Grace. He hit a solo homer in the 5th. Pretty much in the same spot where Gonzalez hit his. He's 2 for 4. Strikes out. Weber got him. 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. That brings up Steve Finley, who was in the game in center field. I missed that one. Steve at 249, 11 homers, and 46 RBI. Reggie Sanders moves over to right. Finley, a slow chopper to Eckstein over to Spezio, and that will retire the side. Bottom of the ninth coming up. No runs, no hits, no errors. Randy Johnson going for the CG. Arizona 7, Anaheim 2. So Randy has fanned 15. He is your digital dice MVP unless the heavens swallow up Anaheim in the next 5 minutes or so. Garrett Anderson has struck out twice and singled. He's 1 for 3. Johnson starts the ninth. Ground ball to Spivey for the out. See you tomorrow, Bernie. We're almost done here anyway. So 1 out for Spezio, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And there's a fly ball to left. Gonzalez in the corner, 2 out. And Benji Gill, who was struck out, singled and doubled, 2 for 3. Randy winds and deals. Ground ball to first. Grace foul on the 2-1. Count moves to 2-2. Randy, a little extra mustard, and walked him. So the full count fastball was high. Molina is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice and walked. That's it. 16 in the ball game. So Randy Johnson gives a fist pump. What an effort. In 3 hours and 22 fake minutes. Randy wins his 12th of the year. 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Arizona. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Anaheim. D-backs left on 8. Anaheim left on 6. Randy Johnson, 9 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He gave up the homer to Wooten. He walked 3, and I think he struck out a Retro Sports Network record of 16. Washburn with a loss, 6 1/3, 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 homers, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Holtz and Weber. Holtz didn't pitch all that well either. Weber did. So the rest of this Saturday in baseball, a full slate on Bastille Day. Get your croissants out. Pittsburgh beats Kansas City 4-1. Williams 4-0. Wilson 2-4. Ramirez is 19th of the year. 2 for 4 and 3 RBI. Cincinnati beats Cleveland 11-8. Brower 4-3. Dave Burba 7-8. Ellisburg's 2 for 4 is 11th of the year and drives in 2. Philadelphia beats Toronto 8-7. Jose Mesa 4-3. Coke 3-4. Jose Cruz Jr. is 15th of the year, 4 for 5, drives in 3. Red Sox pound out 18 hits. They beat the Mets in 10, 8-7. Derek Lowe goes to 7-3. Armando Benitez falls to 1-3. Manny Ramirez 4 for 5, hits 2 homers. He now has 29 and drives in 4. Montreal all over Tampa 9-1. Tony Armas 6-9. Ricker falls to 6-6. Bergeron, not Tom, 2 for 4, a double and a stolen base. Tigers 8-2 over the Cardinals. Jose Lima 1-2. Matt Morris falls to 8-4. Halter 4 for 4 is 8th of the year and drives in 4. Battle of Chicago. White Sox beat the Cubs 9-4. Matt Ginter 3-0. Gil Heredia 0-3. Maggie Ordonez 3 for 5. 18th of the year and drives in 5. Wow. Seattle 8-5 over San Francisco. So Arizona gains a game. Freddie Garcia 11-6. Sean Estes 5-7. Rios 2 for 4 is 11th of the year and drives in 3. Oakland beats LA 7-6. Barry Zito 8-3. Prokopek, take 2 daily, is 4-8. Giambi, I believe it's Jason, 3 for 3, is 24th of the year and drives in 2. Anaheim struck out 16 in their 7-2 loss. The Yankees pound out 16 hits. Ryan Dempster, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts and a walk. Yankees 9-7. Clemens 7-8. Dempster 8-7. Tino Martinez 4 for 5, 19th of the year, drives in 2. Baltimore 6-5 over the Braves in 12. Buddy Groom gets his first win, 1-6. Moore 0-1. Richard 3-6 is 3 for 6, ninth of the year, drives in 3. Twins double the Brewers 4-2. Eric Milton goes to 6-11. Wright 5-6. Rivas 3 for 3 is second with a double. Houston beats San Diego 4-1. Wade Miller goes to 9-4. Jane Jarvis goes to 9-2. Ryan Klesko hits his 22nd, 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Last but not least, Texas 6, Colorado 5. Foster 1-0. Powell 2-1. Petrick 2 for 5 is 7th of the year and drives in 2. Tomorrow we will have for you Cleveland and the White Sox. Lunchtime tomorrow. We'll have it for you then. Until then, I'm Ron Juckin. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful night.